Okay.
Yeah, so just wonder, so what's the purpose you want to have this interview?
Oh, we're basically our organization does a monthly interview with someone that has a career in healthcare. And what we
Mhm,
do is we want to raise more awareness about careers in healthcare, especially
mhm,
to like younger people like me and other high
mhm,
school students or even middle school students that are
mhm.
looking to get into a healthcare related job in the future. And so we want to kind of raise more light on this side of the workforce.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so
Mhm.
we can get started. Would you
Yeah.
like to give a brief introduction of yourself?
Okay. Yeah, I'm a physician. I'm specialized in anesthesiologist. So I'm foreign graduate. Um, it's like but personally in American is very welcome to foreign medical graduates. So I was able to take the USLME exam, um, and do the residency. Then after all these trainings, exams, and after training, I have my board exam, then become a physician here. Mm,
Okay, great. So
mm,
since you mentioned that you
mm,
are an
mm,
anesthesiologist,
mm.
what initially drew you to the field of anesthesiology and how has your career evolved since then?
Yeah, it's a long story, but it's kind of a cliche because most people will have a similar thing. So I'm not growing up in a medicine family. My parents are both electrical engineers. But my grandmother, she likes to tell me the story about my grandfather. He was a advanced graduate. So in Chinese, it's called 进士. So he's a scholar in the older time, passed the national exam, and but he lives in the end of the Qing dynasty. He likes to read the traditional medical books, and he would like to help people just practice medicine in his community. So my grandmother always tell me that in my family there's teachers, engineers, a lot of other professionals, but there's nobody is a physician. And she always say, oh, why you want to be a physician? So that's why I first want to be a physician. And then while in the high school, uh, several of my close friends, they choose a medicine related career, like one become a nurse, one become a pharmacist. So in that time, I'm really serious to consider become a doctor. So basically, it's an inspiration from my grandma and my close friends.
Yeah, I think a lot of
Mm,
people can,
mm,
even today, can probably
mm,
relate to their
mm,
family giving them
mm,
words of advice as to what career they should pursue.
mm, mm,
So building off of that, what do you
mm.
find most fulfilling about being an anesthesiologist? Is it your family?
I think most from the career itself. So it's a lot of events uh, during the practice, the moments that really feel that make me feel that is a really um, be valued as a medical care professional. Like in the hospital, there's a cold blue, so it's a moment that people need a acute medical attention. So when I successfully place the airway, I feel that I really help people. And in the during the surgery or before after surgery, there's a lot of moment people may have an emergency situation. So the anesthesiology were a very important role in helping with that situation.
Yeah, that's really interesting. On a
Mm,
day-to-day, do
mm,
you
mm.
usually, is your job usually revolving around helping those that are about to enter surgery?
Yeah, anesthesiologist is a specialty assist for surgery. Yeah, major is for a surgery purpose. Like if you have um, acute appendicitis, so you need surgery, but definitely need anesthesia because the surgeon will open the body. If you don't have anesthesia, it's how scary it will be, how painful it will be.
Yeah, I think
Mm,
I think
mm,
an anesthesiologist is really a very crucial role in the healthcare force.
mm.
What keeps you motivated in your profession? Is it being able to help out others, or is there something more personal?
Yeah, I think that, yeah, just as you said, it's the feeling you can help people. That's always can motivated me. Um, also, I mean, also you can work with all the other people, so they all brilliant, and you can use your brain, your hands, and solve the difficult problems. It's always in that way you always feel rewarded.
Is there any particular patient or experience that you found really rewarding for you?
Oh, I think there's a lot, and so I'm like a special in pediatric anesthesia. So there's a lot of moments like that. Um, like I had some like a newborn case. They have some
Oh,
congenital issues. Need to go to OR. The, like the first moment they out of a mama's belly, and if they don't have a surgery, they may immediately like just pass away. So that's really rewarding when you see the baby immediately after surgery, they will be able to survive. And for them, that's really a brand new chance. Without a surgery, the most likely they will just die.
yeah. It's
Mhm, mhm,
yeah,
mhm,
it's wonderful to hear about the
mhm,
aspects of your work that bring you a lot of fulfillment.
mhm,
I also know that you did a lot of volunteer work in Africa.
mhm.
So building on that sense of fulfillment, what motivated you to do healthcare volunteer work in Africa specifically? And can you describe your experience there?
Yes, I think being volunteer as a professional is always my dream. Um, and since I got my certificate here, um, I always want to get a chance. So once I have this chance, I just go, and that's a very exciting experience. So went to Senegal. It's a developing country on the west coast of Africa. It used to be a colony of France. So compared to other African countries, so this country's medical system is relatively advanced in that area. So the France already have them set up some basic rules. They have a residency training program. So that's pretty good compared to other countries. So physicians there usually have the basic standing training already, but their average medical system, the condition practice condition still very um, backward compared to US. It's about like a level in 1950s, 60s.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so their equipment are pretty poor. So the first time when I went there, I was so nervous because everything just looks like in the old movie. The
Yeah.
OR is no air conditioning. You know, Africa is super hot.
Yeah.
And in the US, the OR is like sterilized with some air circulation to make sure the OR is in a really good condition. But in Africa, it's nothing. It's just a regular room with some equipment there.
So
And
did you oh, you can
mm,
yeah,
mm.
you can continue. Sorry.
Okay, and they don't have a good health system. Only like 15% of people have the insurance, and even in people with people the people with insurance, they can. I mean, they still pay a lot of out of cash by themselves. The insurance only cover about 11% of their medical
Oh,
cost. So that's why a lot of people couldn't afford the medical treatment, especially for surgery.
yeah.
Mhm.
Did you find it challenging to use the equipment that they had in Senegal because of how perhaps less advanced it was, or was it easy to adjust?
And before I went, I feel it's almost horrible. I don't know. But once I was there, I think it's good because I mean, the American education system really, really good. And so even it's old, but it's not like totally different.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so you can recognize, oh, that's similar to this, similar to that.
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm, mhm,
So it was
mhm,
a smooth
mhm.
adjustment.
I guess I feel that's really God bless because I mean, at your age, you may believe that everything is if it's doing good, that's purely because your effort. But in my age, I feel that it's not only my effort. That's really God bless. The God is watching, it's helping. It's a lot of the situation when you get older, you will understand that it's not that only your efforts will all well blessed. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems
Mhm,
like your
mhm,
time
mhm,
volunteering in Africa was definitely very impactful on
mhm,
the communities there and also
mhm,
on yourself, which
mhm,
kind of leads into my next question, which is
mhm.
what did you find most rewarding about your volunteer experience in Africa?
That's, I mean, just as other rewarding questions. So when you see the outcome, I mean, the outcome is always the most rewarding. Like when after the surgery, you see the happy face on patient's face, and you're so happy for them because now they have their own life. And most of the surgery we do there is a OB surgery. A lot of ladies are suffering from overbleeding from uterus because they have a not fibroids. So it's a kind of the female disease because they have some like mass fat fibrom fibroma. That's the muscle on the uterus. So that's overgrowth. So that's cause a heavy bleeding during the periods. And because that they become very weak. Basically, it's heavy bleeding cause anemia. And they couldn't afford a surgery because even they have insurance. The insurance just cover very, very little. So
Mm.
we basically offer them free treatment, and we also pay all the costs related to surgery. The Senegal system, I don't know, it's kind of a public health system or private, but it's like even we do the surgery for patient, we offer anesthesia for patient freely, no money charged, but we need to use the local hospital and all their equipment. So the local hospital asked us to pay them every patient $300.
Oh, I
Can you
see.
believe that?
Wow. So then when you did the surgery, did you also partner with doctors and medical specialists at the local hospital, or was it all just volunteers like you?
I mean the surgical team, the surgeon and anesthesia team, we all are volunteers.
Oh,
But the supporting system is a local, like the nurse in the OR, they're
yeah. Oh,
yeah, they are local people because we have to work with them.
yeah.
We need the supplies, we don't know where it come from. So it's, I mean, the surgery related is really rely on the equipment environment. It's not like a medical doctor, you can just like give some prescription. But now, even in the medical doctor, they need some equipment to do some like labs imaging. But the surgery depends a lot of equipment. So we couldn't bring all the equipments to there. We have to use theirs, we have to use their anesthesia machine. It's
Yeah,
a huge machine. We couldn't ship it from here to there.
I see. So then,
Mm.
out of curiosity, since you are partnering with local
Mm.
nurses, was
Mm.
there any language barrier, or was it fairly a smooth experience?
It's a lot of language barrier, but I really also feel it's a God bless. First, there's a local pastor always with our team. He's very brilliant. He can speak 7 languages.
Oh, wow.
Senegal is a French yeah, it's French as an official language,
Uh-huh.
but I mean, it's only highly educated people or people work for government to use French. That's only
Oh,
10% of people. And the other population, they have multiple local dialects. So
I
that
see.
pastor can speak 2 major language, French and English. And he also can speak 5 local languages. So we have been there for twice. So the first the hospital we worked is in downtown capital city. So there the population relatively have a higher education. And so I feel like maybe like 50% can speak French and maybe another 20% can understand English. And the
Um,
second time, the hospital we worked is a relatively in the more rural area. So that's like 10% can understand French and almost nobody can understand English. But the good thing is that, I mean, the medical staff in the hospital, they understand partial English, and then also because everybody has a cell phone and also Google Translate. So we use Google Translate a lot.
I That's really interesting, especially how you and other volunteers navigate through these challenges when it comes to language.
Yeah, the other thing is the good thing is that medicine words are very similar in all this Western language. It's not like
Oh, that's
yeah,
really cool.
it's very similar. Medicine name, very similar.
So it's easy
And
to
it's easier. I guess
yeah.
originally a lot of medical words from Latin, and
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Ah, so it sounds like your experience in Africa volunteering was definitely very rewarding and fulfilling as well. Reflecting on those experiences, do you think that your time in Africa impacted your perspective on healthcare?
You mean here in US?
Yeah, or in general?
In general, I think it definitely. I think when I look at the medical condition in Senegal and then look at the problem in US, at least the 2 things I think American is like a little over treated in some way, and I also feel that medicine is a double-edged sword, like uh what's the one thing? Like it's well known that in America the opioid crisis.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so people get involved with opioid from basically one is for like entertainment uses, the other is from the medical treatment. And for entertainment, I have no idea. I don't want to cover that too complicated. But for the like people get dependent from the medical treatment, we need to think about this. Are they really need so many opioids? Like the people in Senegal, I mean, you can definitely, if it's people the similar condition in the US, they already have used a lot of opioids just to make them comfortable. But in Senegal, because they don't have enough medicine attention, a lot of things, so they don't get any treatment for the pain. But they still were functional. So in this way, when we look at the people we treat the American patients in pain, definitely we overtreated them. We purely rely on medicine. But the pain is like a mixture thing. It's both physical and emotional. So that's why now more and more medical professionals realize that the pain management should be multiple approach, not purely depends on medicine.
Yeah, so you think that in terms of the way that these opioids are distributed in America, that it seems that it's more widespread and perhaps occasionally unnecessary?
Yeah, that's what I thought, and I think a lot of the medical staff realize that. So now we're getting more and more training, emphasize on multi-approach, try to lower the narcotics usage.
So do you think that there is, or at least recently, a switch away from opioids in terms of what healthcare professionals are distributing out to their patients?
Oh, sorry, can you repeat that question?
Would you think, or do you think that there in recent times has been a switch away from um, administering opioids to patients, or are American doctors still distributing these opioids out as widespread as they have been?
I think people are changing, but it takes time. I mean, good thing that more and more people realize it. And the other thing I want to mention is like recently, I mean, there's more and more comments said that marijuana is safe.
Oh yeah, yeah, weed, right?
Yeah, the ways. So from medical professional view, it's not. It's just like a smoking in the last century, in the 1930s, 40s, when the smoking just come to the market, people had a similar idea, try to promote it. It's from industry because definitely it's a kind of a business, right?
Yeah.
And all these years, and the people when they are young who start smoking now is in the old age, and they really see what happened if they continue smoking. They get cancer, they have a respiratory disease, and now people realize it's not safe.
Mm.
But they found a new substance.
Yeah, so like history repeats itself.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's really insightful how you connect smoking in terms of marijuana, which is what we see more and more today across all generations.
Yes,
And
and
then,
also
yeah.
um, now the technology is much advanced compared to the older time. I know the famous people claim that they used to smoke weeds when they were younger, like President Obama, President Clinton. But that's like 30, 40 years ago. And what they smoke is real, the natural leaves. But now the products sold in the store is a chemical, it's a synthetic. It's more concentrated, more efficient than the natural leaves. So
Mm,
from our professional view, that's really kind of like introduction, the gateway to the higher advanced addiction.
mm.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mm,
that's a very
mm,
interesting
mm,
perspective too. Thank you
mm,
for
mm,
sharing that.
mm,
And then
mm,
lastly, to
mm,
end off this interview,
mm.
do you have any advice for the younger generation, people like me looking to pursue a career in healthcare?
Oh yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're very interested in medicine. So I think everybody know that it's a very competitive area, so you know you need to work hard on your school performance. But I want to give some advice on like how you know this career better, just like you are doing. You try to talk with people who is already in this field, and I also suggest people do some like volunteer in medicine related, so you can really just see and feel how you really want to be in this field. I mean, I'm a mother, so uh, I like all the kids go to medicine. It's very natural, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you have to realize that it's not only it's a career, but it's also a lifestyle.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
I agree.
yeah, it's boring to be honest. When I was younger, why I mean I was practicing in my home country, well, as a new graduate, but then I just feel that it's very boring, and you overworked almost every day, and you don't have a holiday. So that's kind of one of the reasons I left to come to US. And so when I was in training, I heard orthopedic resident talk with like a just a maybe college student. He is very interested in medicine. So the orthopedic resident said, you must realize how hard the life you will face. And so the orthopedic resident told him that how often he is in the hospital. You can't imagine that. He works like he only got every month. He only got oh yeah one Sunday off really.
Oh
So most
wow.
of the time he have to see the patient, even he not stay in the hospital all day. Like weekend, he still need to come to hospital, see the patients in the morning, finish the notes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's a pretty common for all the specialties. But if you want to be like any surgical related, your starting time will be really, really early.
mm. So
Mhm,
you think that in order to, or not in order
mhm,
to, but
mhm.
when pursuing a career in healthcare, it's important to have that sense of passion because, as you said, your career is sort of your lifestyle and it also kind of shapes your mindset. So if you are really passionate about that, then would that help you in terms of, working so long and so hard?
I guess it's hard to say. I mean, passion may fade. I saw people switch to other specialties. Like when I was doing graduate school, there's an American student. He's very smart. He's in PhD MD program, but finally he gave up the medicine track. He became
Oh,
a purely researcher because once he started his medicine rotation, it's just like medical student. He already feel that it's a lot of overtime work. He doesn't like it.
I see. So it also
Mhm, mhm.
depends on, I guess, yourself and what you want in your life.
Yeah, so don't be feel like guilty or feel that you gave up. Anyway, you can help people. Even you be a researcher, you can still help people, right?
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
just a different way. Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. Thank you so
Just be
much.
honest to yourself.
Yeah.
Not everybody need to be really practicing medicine, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's important to, I guess, know what you want and what you want to do in your life.
I think that's important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank
Mhm.
you so much for joining me today. I really did learn a lot from you, and I think that you
Mhm.
also provided a lot of unique and very interesting insights into
Mhm.
both your experiences and your
Mhm.
perspective and your opinions on healthcare as a whole. So thank you so
Mhm.
much.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you for your trust. Okay, have a good one. Mm.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You too, bye.
Bye.
Mm.